Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Charlotta and this is the School of Pattern Cutting. In this video I'm going to show you how to draft this Balenciaga inspired wingtip shawl collar top. Don't forget to subscribe below and hit the little bell so you never miss a thing. So let's have a look at this lovely pink top. I'm going to go through all the design principles and then I'm going to show you the whole drafting process so you can draft your own. So this is a very simple cotton top, but what makes it special is that instead of an armhole, the whole top is one piece. So it's got a seam a bit above your bust line and then it's got the sleeve attached. And I've done it so slightly curved, so you can lift up your legs, your arms even, but you might want to put gusset in for even better fit. And then the back is just a normal neckline, but the front has got a slight overlap, and then it's got this sort of what you might call a wing tip collar. So it's nearly a shawl collar, but it doesn't go around the back, but it's got the same sort of grown on feel. And what you could do, you could actually attach a shawl collar. So it's more dressed maybe, but I quite like this sort of collarless look. And Izzy Miyake has done some beautiful stuff with that sort of same thing. And you can either wear it up, like this, so it becomes sort of quite severe, or you could wear it down, or you could even put another little button there and have a tiny collar, which I quite like as well. So it might be quite nice in a linen. So slightly navel for when you're at the beach in summer. So I hope you like this top and I'm going to show you how to draft it now. The first thing you need to do is get your front bodice and your back bodice. I'm just going to show you how to do the front because the back is identical and if anything it's easier. And you will also need your sleeve. And the sleeve is actually the first thing we're going to do because we need to attach it to here. So what you need to do is with your front, with your sleeve, trace around it on a piece of paper. So I've done it already. And then what we need to do, because we want to create that lovely curve around the shoulder, so we want to get the right sort of curve and fit. So on my armhole or my front bodice, I'm gonna lay my sleeve so the notches match, yeah? And then I'm gonna measure how much ease I've got on both the front and the back. And I'm gonna be naughty and I'm gonna mark it on my block. You can see I've done a little mark on my block. And then I'm going to transfer this mark to my sleeve pattern. And I do the same at the back. And it's just to work out how much ease we have to get rid of. Because we don't need ease, because we're now getting a curved shoulder rather than a set in armhole. So these are the two things I need to mark. And then I can get rid of my sleeve. And I've marked my front and back bodice. So front and back. There's my notches, which are important. And what you need to do now is just curve down from these points into your main seam. And if you've done my vintage pattern cutting masterclass on my website, we did something very similar on our trapeze dress. So it's the same sort of method where you just curve down and curve down. And you want to check that these are the same length. 10 and 10, yes. And I'm making this video because one of our lovely subscribers, Janet, admired my top and said she would love to make her own. So it's for you, Janet, this whole video. And you might regret it because this is now gets slightly complicated because we're gonna cut our sleeve apart. So you've got two bits and then we're gonna attach it to our basic front bodice. So I'm going to cut it all apart and show you how to put it on. So I've cut into my pink lines, and what I can now do is open up my sleeve, take off the excess, and I got a fantastic 2-sleeve part to fit onto my arm line to create either like a gusset sleeve, a raglan sleeve, or in this case that's sort of Balenciaga inspired sleeve line. So for now I only need the front. The back I'm gonna need for later, or you're gonna need for later to do your own pattern. So I'm not gonna put this front onto the front bodice. So for my bodice, I've traced around as usual. I'm marking the center front, my bust point, and my dart. So what you do with your sleeve, I want a really nice curved armhole. So the trick is to keep your notches, so your notch on your sleeve and your notch on your arm roughly level. So you move it out so it looks like this. And can you see it's gonna hit my armhole or my side much below the armhole. And that's fine. That just means my armhole is going to get slightly bigger, which is what you need for fit basically. So basically lower down, if I did it like this, that's when you need to have a gusset for fit, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to lift up your sleeve at all. So I'm going to leave it quite high. So I just got some shaping, but it's going to hit my top roughly halfway down my notch. So I'm just going to mark it like this, just the top, and see how it looks like, because I want a lovely curve. And I've done my sleeve 3/4 length, just about 6 centimeters below the armhole. So I just want to see how that curve looks, and I think that's quite nice. For this top I would actually make a quick trial just to see how the shoulder fits, because if it's too curved it might not be enough space, or it might be too enough space. But by keeping these roughly equal, I think the lowest you can go is like this. But then you're going to get into trouble with not having enough room. So basically the higher you get it, the more, so you could, if you wanted to, you could literally just extend your shoulder and have it straight. But I've curved it down a bit, so it's a bit more elegant. So this is my sleeve done. What I now need to do is draw in my design line and then put in my collar, and then I'm actually done. And then you just have to do the same for the back. So I'm just going to mark, so I've got 2.5 centimeters lower armhole, because this is the dart I'm going to get rid of now. And I'm going to do this by drafting a line across. And this is slightly, it's not naughty pattern cutting, but it's just moving the bust point a bit, because I don't want the line to be on my bust, because that's really unflattering. I want it to be above the bust. So it's sort of, because it's on your bust, it's just going to make you really big. So I'm going to move it up about 3 centimeters. And it's slightly, it's not best practice, but it's sort of, over time, you learn what you can get away with. So I'm going to draw on my line until here. And I'm now actually going to quickly move my bust dart out of the way so I can finish. So I'm just going to close it and move it down here. So all I'm doing is moving it out of the way. And you could do it first, but I didn't. now I know where I want my line to be. So I'm not gonna tape it because it's gonna get closed again. So I know I want my line to be like this. So I'm gonna just draw it across like that. And this is now my sleeve. So you can see this is gonna be my one-piece sleeve top. So I'll just mark myself in front. But what I want to now I'm gonna do is just quickly extend my dart. And this is where it gets a bit naughty. Because now I can just cut into here. I can close it again. So I've got my line up here, that's all basically done. And now I can just close the dart and basically get rid of it. So you can either make your top slightly A-line, or what you can do is by making your dart longer, you can literally just overlap it. So you got a slight curve and close it. Can you see I've just lost a tiny bit, but I've now got a two-piece garment, and I've changed my dart into a seam, which slightly, the seam is slightly above the bust point, so it's more flattering rather than through it. Bit of caution, I've lost a tiny bit of ease. So what I would do is, because the bottom is sort of a plain panel anyway, which wraps on the back. So I would just add whatever I've lost here onto the back. And what I've done with my top as well, at the back I've got a pleat, so you can just add a bit of fabric onto the side. But that's your bottom bit finished. So on the bottom, I'm just going to write fold. And when you add seam allowance everywhere but the fold, you straighten out your bottom and you sort of make your side slightly wider to allow for the ease. Because you can see it's sort of, you can do with a bit more anyway. But this is my bottom bit done, so that can be put to one side. And now I can just quickly draw in the collar for you, which is, to make up for this slightly complicated stuff, the easiest collar ever, which is always great. So I'm going to move up my whole pattern. So I'm going to draw my collar with just two straight lines. So it's a bit like magic. First of all, I'm going to draw in my overlap, my button stand, which I've done 2 centimeters. And I'm just going to draw that up. That's one side of my collar. And then I'm going to extend my shoulder. And that's the other side of the collar. So it's this easy to create the collar. And this is quite pointy. So if you want it less pointy, all you do, instead of going straight up, you square it across. Either way works. I prefer this less pointy one. You could, even if you don't like it that high, you could go down. But all it is your center front button stand line interacting with a line from your high shoulder point. And that is your collar finished and done. So your whole front of your top is now done. You just need to add seam allowance everywhere. And then you do the same thing at the back. So this is the flat pattern for the beautiful pink top. Nearly done. As you can see, it's a bit of a magic collar, super fast. The tricky bit is the sleeve. If you want to find out more about shawl collars and like, please have a look at my course in the description below. But whatever you do, enjoy your drafting.